Second day on the job, and I'm still getting here on time.
Well, now, hallelujah. And I don't suppose it occurred to you that you might even come a little early from time to time now, did it, Chris?
No, I don't want to overdo it, Mr. Barrett. I got to take one step at a time.
Well, that's the problem with you college fellows. You always got time for changing the world, and you ain't got no time for changing schedules.
It's not the whole world I want to change, Mr. Barrett. Just one facet of it. I sure do hope I can help people someday. And I like this job, you know that. So, anything exciting happen today?
Nah, a couple of punks came in earlier today, but I got rid of them. Still, it's been a pretty slow day today. We won't have most of the holiday traffic till the end of the week.
Yeah, I'd just as soon have it slow, too. I have a term paper to write. Hey, who's the old guy right there? It's pretty classy for a bus station.
No, I don't know him, Chris. To tell you the truth, I ain't never seen the old guy around here before.
Maybe he's going someplace.
He hasn't made up his mind where. He came in around 9 o'clock this morning, and he's been here ever since. It's kind of strange, too. Come to think of it, he didn't go anywhere for lunch.
Maybe he's meeting somebody.
Coming in at 9, waiting around all day. Now that doesn't make any sense on that score either. But anyhow, he isn't bothering anybody. He didn't say anything, so I just let him be. Marlin Bus Lines, Ned Barrett speaking. Yes? Mrs. Wilson. Hi, Mrs. Wilson. An old man? Hold on one second. Professor Gresham?
Yes.
Yes, he's here, Mrs. Wilson. Okay, would you like to talk to him? All right, hold on a second. There's Mrs. Wilson on the phone for you.
Always fussing after me. Well, I don't want to talk to her. You tell her that.
What? Mrs. Wilson? Hey, Professor Gresham isn't here. Well, yes, he's here, but he just stepped into the restroom for a second. All right, would you like me to give him a message? Okay. All right, okay. All right, Mrs. Wilson. Okay, Mrs. Wilson, bye. Well, at least now we know who he is.
What was that all about?
That was Mrs. Wilson. She thinks he's thoughtless. She spent all day making some kind of bratwurst or something, and he didn't come for it. So she thinks he's a big jerk.
You gonna give him the message?
You know what? She can give it to him herself. Women, like you said, always fussing. As far as I'm concerned, the old man can stay here till midnight.
Yeah, I'll take care of that. Hey, is there anything I should know about before you go?
Yes. A batch of petitions came by earlier today to reinstate the service between here and Lockerbie.
Lockerbie? Way up north?
Yeah. The issue comes up every couple of months, but nothing ever happens.
I didn't know there was a bus to Lockerbie.
Long before your time, kid. Over 30 years ago. Even before I got here. Anyhow, the boss is never going to run a bus up there again. He says it's a jinxed route. One breakdown after another. Finally, there was a bad accident. Professor Gresham, an old-timer here. He could probably tell you all about it. All right, well, it's about 9 o'clock. I'm going to get out of here.
Yeah, all right. I'll take care of everything, all
Just
right?
remember to lock everything up.
Yeah, I got it. So, hey, look. If you're not going anywhere, then you must be meeting somebody, right? Somebody special?
I am meeting somebody. I am.
Well, hey, look. If it's the 410 from Millbrook, then it just pulled in. Maybe someone's on that one.
I don't hear a bus. Running late. Maybe they're coming.
Not the one? Don't worry about it. Maybe they're on the next one. Oh, excuse me. May I help you with that?
No, I don't need any help. Does it look like I need help?
I'm sorry, lady. I was just asking. That's
Well,
all.
this is a bus station. You would think that I was coming to wait for a bus.
I just asked.
You would think that man could see that I was waiting for a bus. You would know that, wouldn't you?
Well, I suppose so. Although you don't have any luggage. That is no criterion. I mean, you could be going someplace.
Oh, no, I'm not going anyplace.
think it would be lovely to be too busy to get away for a holiday. I'm not actively engaged in anything anymore. I'm retired, you see. Although, I do lecture now and then at the college. But I suppose they only invite me back there to be kind.
Some people aren't kind.
And some people are too kind. Oh, Mrs. Wilson, for example. She fusses so. Although, she does mean well. I mean, she takes good care of me.
Well, I don't like to be taken care of. I'm not going anyplace. Not going anyplace.
That's what you said. You said that you were meeting somebody.
Oh, yes, my little girl. She's coming for the holidays. It seems like such a long time since I've seen her.
Is she away at boarding school? It couldn't be college. You're too young for that.
Oh, no. She's just a little girl. She's not in college yet. I brought her a present. Do you want to see?
Well, you have it wrapped so beautifully. Are you sure that you want to open it?
Oh, no, I don't mind. I'm really good at wrapping presents and tying bows. You'll see. I do most of the Christmas presents.
Well, this is a lovely present. Your girl is certain to love it. My Jean used to love stuffed animals.
You have a little girl, too?
No, I'm afraid Jean is Eugene. He's not so little anymore. He's grown up and moved away. But I'm glad for that. He fussed almost as much as Mrs. Wilson.
I forgot to ask, are you going anyplace?
Oh, no, I'm not going anyplace. Although, I do have sufficient time to travel.
Well, then you're meeting somebody?
Yes, I am meeting somebody. I am.
Well, sometimes I think that meeting somebody is almost better than going away, don't you? What bus is it that you're waiting for?
Well, you see, that's the embarrassing thing, young lady. I don't know what bus it is that I'm to meet. That's why I got here so early this morning. I had to come down and wait for it. That must sound very foolish.
Well, I certainly don't blame you for that.
I'm afraid Mrs. Wilson would. Think me foolish, that is.
I forgot to ask, is it your wife that you're meeting here, Mr. Wilson?
My wife is dead. Esther has been dead for a long time now. A long time.
Oh, I'm sorry. Poor Mrs. Wilson.
Oh no, you have that mixed up. Mrs. Wilson is my housekeeper. And indeed, keeper is the proper word for it.
Well, as long as there's someone to meet. Hey, wouldn't that be really neat if my little girl and your, whoever it was, were on the same bus together?
Well, that would be quite the coincidence.
And wouldn't that be really, really swell if they were just sitting there? Maybe they're good friends already. I'll bet that the two of them are just sitting there together talking about the two of us. Would you like that? Does your friend like children?
Well, you see, that's the other embarrassing thing, young lady. I don't know who it is that I'm to meet. That must sound very strange.
Well,
but this whole day has been somewhat strange. You see, I got this letter, and then when I went to find it again, I couldn't. I mislaid it, I suppose. It's dreadful to have the years overtake you, so that you mislay things. I mean, always having to be reminded.
well, it's the other way with me. You see, I'm the one who remembered about my little girl coming today. I know exactly who it is that I am.
Sometimes I think Mrs. Wilson threw that letter away, deliberately. I mean, she could see that I was excited about it, and, well, she doesn't like it when I get excited. You see, I have a tricky heart, and Mrs. Wilson and Jean, they don't like me getting keyed up about things.
Well, I think a person has every right to get excited when they're expecting somebody. I'm excited, but then I don't have a tricky heart. Maybe if you think really hard about what bus it is that you're waiting for, it'll come to you. I'll bet that it's the same bus that my little girl is on, and I'll bet that the two of them are just sitting there together talking about the two of us.
If I could only remember who it is that I'm to meet.
Well, whoever it is, I'm sure that they're good friends by now. You'll have to come over and have Christmas cookies and punch with us. That is if they do let her stay.
They?
Where I live. I don't think they even wanted me to come and take her.
Well, that's incredible, young lady. I mean, why shouldn't you get to meet her? And as the girl's mother, you have every right to be with her. especially at Christmas time.
That's true, isn't it? Yeah. Why shouldn't she be able to come home with me? Why shouldn't I be able to come and get her?
Dolores! I was sure you'd be here. Come along now, it's getting late.
Didn't I say that? Didn't I say that they didn't want me to come and meet her?
Now, I'm not so sure about this. I mean, that young lady's little girl
It's
is...
all right, Grandpa. We'll take care of it.
But he said the truth. Mr. Wilson said the truth. I'm here to meet my little girl. She's on the bus with Mr. Wilson's friend.
I understand, Dolores, but things don't always work out the way we plan them. You'll have to come home now.
Now, wait just a minute. A little girl is going to be all alone in this bus station.
Not that it's any of your business, Grandpa. There isn't a little girl. Dolores doesn't have a little girl. There never was a little girl.
That seems like a presumptuous statement.
I really don't have time for this. Come along now, Dolores. Let's get back to Briarwood now and have a nice dinner.
Briarwood?
Briarwood?
What do you mean? You're from Briarwood? My psych class took a visit down to Briarwood last summer. You're Mrs. Hoffman, right?
That's right, I'm Mrs. Hoffman. And now that the amenities are taken care of, I'll get Dolores home.
No, actually, I'd like to speak to her if I may. Don't you remember me from last summer? Back when I came to Briarwood? Remember I spoke to you last summer?
This has indeed been a very strange day.
Say, aren't you John Gresham? Professor Gresham? Why, you of all people should know about Dolores. She was on that last bus to Lockerbie. With your wife. That last bus to Lockerbie. She was just a child then, of course. There were only 6 passengers on the bus, thank goodness. But nonetheless, Dolores was the only survivor.
Lockerbie?
I'm not sure she was the lucky one either, though you might not have seen it that way. Her parents were with her, both killed. We've had her at Briarwood now for almost 30 years.
You know, I used to collect stuffed animals. May I see yours?
No, you can't touch it. It's for my little girl. And I didn't get the box sent up again.
It's all right, Dolores. We'll go back to Briarwood and wrap it up again.
But it'll be too late. She's gonna miss it. She's gonna miss it. Here, you give it to her. Tell her I'm sorry it's not wrapped. I do tie such pretty bows. And say hello to your friend for me. Maybe you still can come for Christmas cookies.
Certainly they can come for cookies, dear.
I'd like to come too, if I may. Man, I should have seen it when she came in. I mean, oh, couldn't you tell that? Like, didn't you know that she was... Hey, look, what's the matter? Is something wrong?
No, nothing's wrong. I've remembered what bus it is that I'm to meet. It's the bus from Lockerbie.
What?
Look, Dad, Mrs. Wilson called me down at the office. She said that you didn't come home for lunch. And she was worried about you. She didn't think that you'd end up at the bus station. But she talked to Doc Simpson, and he said he was sure he saw you heading here. Dad? Dad?
It's all right, Gene. I'm here to meet the bus from Lockerbie.
He said the same thing to me, sir. And I guess you know that there isn't one?
Dad! Mrs. Wilson said she saw you rummaging through those old letters, too. That's not good. It's been 30 years since Ma was killed. There's no point in bringing back all of that pain.
It's the bus from Lockerbie. Dad. That's it.
Dad! Call the ambulance, quick!
An ambulance.
Dad! Dad, wake up! Wake up, Dad!
Esther? Oh, Esther! Oh, how I've missed you.
John, it's only been 2 weeks.
What? Well, it feels like longer. That's for sure. How was the bus ride home?
The roads were icy and treacherous.
I was afraid they would be. How is your mother? Is she going to be okay?
It'll be touch and go for a while, but she was better when I left. She certainly was happy to have me stay as long as I did, especially during the busy Christmas season. Did you get my letter?
Yes. Yes, I got it. I met the bus, didn't I?
Have you and Jean been all right?
Yes, we've been fine. Although I'm afraid I don't make a very good mother. Oh, but we've missed you.
Well, I'm home again. And John, there was the sweetest little girl on the bus. She was traveling with her parents, but she came and sat next to me when the snow started to fly. Oh, we had such a good visit. I did want you to meet her, but when we got off the bus, she wasn't there. It was the strangest thing, John. She was gone.
Well, if she was with her parents, I'm sure she'll be fine. I mean, we need to get home and see Jean. We have so much to do. We need to decorate the Christmas tree and buy candy canes.